Are you guys ready? We are going to talk about the Pachycormiformes order, which is an order of extinct fish that a lot of you might know because of its crowning member, the Leedsichthys, the largest bony fish ever. But we'll get to that. We're going to look at the Pachycormiformes in general, the whole order. But a lot of people like them. This one got suggested to me, so I looked into it specifically. All right, so the name, as we always talk about, Pachy means thick. I could not find what Corm means. I pulled up like an online dictionary thing of like Latin and Greek roots that are used in English and searched Corm and like was searching through the whole thing like core and then orm and all that. Could not find any explanation of Corm. So if someone knows what Corm means, that would be lovely. But I don't know what Corm means. But form always means shape. That's easy. A lot of things are called forms. So thick something form. Who knows? Maybe thick mama form or thick fish form. It's definitely not thick. That's ichthy. I know that at least. I don't think it means corn. I don't think it's thick corn shape. Or not exactly corn shaped, but I appreciate you guys trying your best. Yes, patchy means thick. So this is the preserved head and forefin of Pachycormis, which is one of the families within the Pachycormiformes. And then this is the Protosphaerina perniciosa. I don't fucking know. You can't see the name. It looks like that. This one kind of looks like a marlin to me, but we'll talk about that. So, the members. First of all, they're split up because there's a lot of members based on what they ate. You know, there's generalists, there's carnivores, and then there's herbivores. So we'll talk about the generalists, starting with the Omdenia, because that's the best drawing of any of them. Look at this drawing, how cool it is. So they're only known from incomplete fossils. Basically, there's no complete fossil of an Omdenia ever found. But they had cool backwards-facing teeth, and they mostly ate like mollusks and cephalopods. So they're very generalists, you know, searching the seafloor, looking for stuff to eat. Then you've got the Pachycormis, which was the thing that we just saw the reconstruction of. This is the reconstruction of the Pachycormis, which is just the self-titled, you know, named after the order. They're generalist predators, and they're the basal taxa. So they're the ancestral starting taxon. They're what it's named after, all of that. Then you've got the filter feeders, and might be interesting because some of you guys might not know this. So there's the Bonarichthys, which is a great white-sized filter feeder. So it's an absolutely massive filter feeder, and basically provided evidence that this niche has existed for a long time. Because nowadays we have whale sharks and basking sharks. The two largest fish are both filter feeders. So all the way back in these ancient periods, the largest fish were still filter feeders. So this niche of just being giant and filtering stuff out of the water has clearly existed for a really long time and has proved beneficial for a really long time. And then you've got, just to dwarf the Bonarichthys here, you've got the Leedsichthys, which is the largest bony fish to ever live. Their specimens estimated up to 54 feet, and it was also a filter feeder, and it is most famous because it is in Ark, and it is the worst in Ark. Which brings us to our crazy-ass fish of the day, which is, of course, Leedsichthys, because look at this human being swimming in the water or standing next to it versus a Leedsichthys. Like, holy shit. These things were absolutely massive. Like, so far beyond the largest other bony fish. And it's literally just a filter feeder. Not even a predator. So it grew up to potentially 54 feet. There were estimates that were larger. There are estimates that are lower. The estimate that I consider most valid is the 54 feet, but I don't actually know fully. It was completely a filter feeder, so it just sustained itself on that. Largest bony fish to ever live from the Mesozoic era. And the skeleton has never been perfectly, fully found. It's basically reconstructed from a bunch of different parts, which, if you think about it, makes sense. This would be a huge fish to find the entire skeleton at one time. So basically, that's why it's hard for us to know exactly how large these things could get, because we're kind of constructing them. It's like, how do you know if you're missing a vertebra piece? How do you know exactly how long it got? But that's why it's all estimations. And last but not least, it's a total bitch to deal with in Ark, because if you've ever played Ark Survival Evolved, where these things are in the ocean, they eat your ship. For no reason. They're vegetarians. Who knows why? Or they're filter feeders. Why they bite your ship, I could not tell you. But you literally cannot sail anywhere in that game without your fish getting just absolutely destroyed by the nearest Leedsichthys. It's just absurdly annoying. But, yeah, that's the crazy-ass fish of the day. So back onto the members. Then you've got the Macrocarnivores. So we talked about the filter feeders, the generalists, And then we've got the Macrocarnivores. So we've got the Orthocormus, which is a family that not much is known about. They're basically assumed to have been a nectonic carnivore, and they were found in Germany. That's basically all we know about them. And then we've got potentially my favorite. I don't know if I like them better or the Leedsichthys better, but the Protosphaerena, which we saw the picture of in the first slide. And a lot of people actually like this fish if you're into like ancient fish. The name means swordfish-like. The name means early barracuda, because it's described sort of like a marlin. But basically what we thought when we first discovered it was that it was like an old version of a barracuda. It was like an ancestral barracuda. So the name proto means early, old, and sphaerena is the name for barracuda, the Latin name for barracuda. So we called it that because we thought that it looked and resembled a barracuda. But it's less hydrodynamic, so it is a lot like a sailfish. It has that same design. It's got that same like spear nose and like hunting style as a carnivore, but it's less hydrodynamic, which is basically evidence of we're doing it better nowadays. Sailfish nowadays are more hydrodynamic. They're better at swimming. They're faster. They're more adapted than the early versions of them. Basically just saying that like evolution has gotten better, which it doesn't always do. And then just some interesting image I wanted to show you. This is one that I didn't tell you much about because this order or this family doesn't have very much information on it, but I think it looks hilarious. I believe it's a filter feeder. It's the other one with the Bonarichthes and the Leedsichthys. Here's the Leedsichthys next to a person again. As always, it's the nectonic carnivore. I really love this image. And then this guy, who I don't even actually remember anything about. He's cool looking. He looks like he has teeth, so I'd assume he was a carnivore. Or a generalist. And that is the Pachycormiformes.